All right, let's talk about a new kind of AI. One that doesn't just talk to you, it actually acts for you. We're going to go way beyond simple chatbots today and look at an AI that can genuinely execute tasks.
So here's the first big question for you. What if an AI could do more than just answer your questions? I mean, think about the assistants we use now. They're basically fancy search engines, right? They're great at finding information. But what if that's just scratching the surface?
And let's push that idea even further. What if it could actually execute complex tasks for you, right inside the apps you use every single day? I'm not talking about it giving you a list of instructions on how to do something. I mean the AI literally goes in and does the work. That's the game-changing idea we're diving into.
Well, this concept has a name. Manus AI calls it the Action Engine, and it's an AI agent built from the ground up not just to provide text, but to perform actions. This is a fundamental shift in how we think about AI. It's moving from simply knowing to actually doing.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But talk is cheap. What does this action engine really look like when it's put to work? Let's get into some seriously cool demos to see what this thing can do.
So first up, check this out. Imagine you're a developer who's learning French, and you want a custom app to practice with. Now, normally, that's a project that could take days, maybe even weeks of coding. But in this case, they just gave a prompt to the Manus agent. And just look at what it built. This wasn't some basic little web page. The agent generated a full-blown web app with some amazing features. We're talking inline grammar corrections, so you can see your mistakes right away. You get word definitions on demand. It even integrated with a third-party service, 11 Labs, for audio pronunciations. On top of that, it builds a user profile based on your writing to offer you personalized daily suggestions. And the wildest part? This entire complex app was spun up just from a series of prompts. That's incredible.
Okay, if you thought that was cool, this next one is a total game changer for automation. Think about all the tasks you do every day that require you to be logged into a service, like your Google account or your LinkedIn.
Here's the secret sauce. Most AI agents use what's called a sandbox browser. It's fresh, clean, and totally isolated. The problem is, it's not logged into any of your accounts. But the Manus browser operator is different. It starts a new tab directly in your local browser. This means it can operate inside your authenticated sessions, so it can search Google Maps from your account or navigate LinkedIn while you're logged in. You can probably already see how this just unlocks a massive universe of personal and professional automation possibilities.
So we've seen some of the amazing things it can do. Now, for all you developers watching, let's pull back the curtain and see how you can actually harness this power and integrate it into your own applications using the Manus API.
The first thing you have to understand is that the API is asynchronous. When you send it a big task like build me a website, it doesn't just happen instantly. The task goes into a queue, and it can be in one of 4 states at any time. It's either actively running, pending because it needs more input from you, completed, or in some cases, it might run into an error. Getting your head around this flow is absolutely crucial for building on top of it.
So how do you know when your task is actually done? Well, you've got 2 main options. The first is called polling. You can think of it like a kid in the back of a car asking, "Are we there yet?" every few seconds. You just keep asking the API for a status update. It's super easy to get started with. But for production apps, webhooks are way more efficient. With a webhook, you tell Manus, "Hey, send me a notification the moment this task is complete." It's cheaper, much more scalable, and really the professional way to build. Now, of course, for an agent to do anything useful, you need to give it context. And this is where it gets really powerful. You can upload files directly, like PDFs or JSON data. You can point it to a public URL with an article or a transcript. You can even provide a screenshot as a base 64 encoded image. Or you can connect it directly to your apps like Notion and Gmail, so it can work with the data you already have. And here's a really important note on data privacy. Any file you upload for a task is automatically and permanently deleted after 48 hours. This is a core security and privacy feature of the system, which is great to see.
All right, let's put all these pieces together. We're going to walk through a dense, super practical example, building a smart, multi-turn conversational Slack bot from scratch using the Manus API.
Let's break down this entire workflow. It all starts when someone mentions your bot in Slack, which sends a webhook to your application. Your code then creates a new Manus task. Now, here's the magic trick. You use a key value store to map the Slack thread ID to that new Manus task ID. This is so important because when another message comes in on that same thread, your system knows to append it to the existing task. Finally, once Manus finishes the job, it sends its own webhook back to your app, which then posts the final response right into the correct Slack thread.
And this quote right here is the absolute heart of making a conversational agent. Without this logic, every single message would start a brand new contextless task. By mapping those Slack threads to Manus tasks, you enable a true back-and-forth conversation. It's everything.
And this isn't just for text. A user can upload an image, like a receipt for bagels. The bot can then send that image over to Manus, which uses OCR to extract the details, looks up the company's expense policy from a connected Notion account, and then gives a response based on whether the expense is approved. That is a complete practical workflow.
So after seeing all of that, what's the big takeaway? Why is this general agent approach so powerful compared to other AI tools out there?
Well, here's what makes this approach such a big deal. First, you get a full Docker environment. This means you can install pretty much any package you need, like a Redis database, which is just impossible on most limited platforms. Second, it's built to handle complex integrations like Webhooks natively. And third, you get this whole suite of limitless tools, web scraping, code execution, browser control, all in a single agent. This all adds up to incredible flexibility, where one general agent can be adapted to solve a nearly infinite range of problems.
And that really is the question to end on. We are moving from an era of AI that just talks to an era of AI that does. So, when you have a tool that can connect to any app and execute any digital task you can describe, the only limit is your imagination. What problem will you solve first?